Good evening, and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our London studio. I'm Victoria Lane. We begin with developments surrounding the ongoing Middle East conflict, where U.S. President Donald Trump has sparked fresh controversy with remarks about the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Speaking amid heightened tensions, President Trump suggested that Iran must reopen the vital oil shipping route as part of any peace agreement. In a striking comment, he referred to it as the Strait of Trump, later calling the remark a mistake, but maintaining that there's no accidents in his statements. He also claimed that negotiations are underway and that Iran is willing to strike a deal, despite repeated denials from Tehran. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the world's most critical oil transit choke points, making its status central to the month-long conflict. In another development, President Trump has also questioned America's long-standing commitment to NATO. Speaking at an investment forum in Miami, he suggested that the United States does not have to be there for the alliance. He criticized NATO members for what he described as a lack of material support during the current U.S. conflict with Iran. Despite Washington's significant defense spending to protect allies, Trump indicated that this perceived imbalance is raising doubts about future U.S. commitments, signaling growing strain within the transatlantic alliance. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels remain active. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Iran's top diplomat Abbas Araghchi have held talks on resolving the conflict through diplomacy. According to Russia's foreign ministry, both sides discussed the escalating crisis and attributed recent tensions to what they described as American and Israeli actions against Iran. The ministers emphasized the need to shift toward a political and diplomatic solution, highlighting the importance of international law and safeguarding the legitimate interests of all countries in the region. For more on regional diplomatic efforts, we go to Islamabad, where our correspondent Sarah William is following developments. Sarah, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Victoria. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has announced that key talks on the Middle East conflict may now take place in Pakistan this weekend. The proposed meeting is expected to bring together foreign ministers from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Turkey. Originally scheduled to be held in Turkey, the venue was shifted to Pakistan due to scheduling constraints involving Pakistani officials. These talks are seen as an important step in coordinating a unified diplomatic response among major Muslim countries. Observers say the outcome could play a significant role in shaping regional efforts to de-escalate tensions.
Thank you, Sarah, for that update. Back now to Washington, where U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff has expressed optimism about potential talks between the United States and Iran later this week. Speaking at a business forum in Miami, Witkoff said Washington is hopeful for progress and is awaiting Tehran's response to a proposed 15-point peace plan. He added that, if accepted, the proposal could potentially resolve the ongoing conflict, signaling renewed diplomatic momentum amid rising tensions. On the ground, however, hostilities continue to escalate. The Israeli military has reportedly targeted infrastructure linked to Hezbollah in Beirut. In response, Hezbollah says it has launched multiple missile strikes into northern Israel, including attacks on Kiryat Shmona and Israeli military positions. The group described these strikes as a warning escalation, underlining the growing risk of a wider cross-border conflict in the region. And in a further sign of strained relations, a senior Iranian official has described ongoing U.S. attacks alongside calls for negotiations as intolerable. The official stated that Tehran has yet to decide whether to respond to Washington's proposal, citing recent strikes on its industrial and nuclear infrastructure. Iran had initially planned to deliver its response by Friday or Saturday, but that decision now appears to be delayed, adding to uncertainty over the prospects for diplomatic engagement. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Victoria Lane.